expect, basically condensing that down a little bit for you. And then we're doing this is kind of a surprise because I thought we were doing something else. I was studying on something else. We're doing a lore lesson on Euraxia Tharn's forces. And all of this
We
is
are.
spoiler free. Spoiler free stuff, okay?
Right.
So you don't have anything to worry about here. Just come, enjoy yourself. Now, I will say this, Cash and I did talk about it behind the scenes, what we think we are going to do. Once we are done with Elsweyr, once we've done all the questing, we've done everything that we possibly can, we are going to do a spoiler show. Pause. Is Twitch live?
I think Twitch crashed.
Twitch crashed? Hey, Twitch.
It looks like it's back live, but it looks like Twitch took a giant shit.
Close and reopen Twitch. So we're live. We're good. We're good.
Good.
All right, here we go.
Hey, Rich is here. What's up, Rich?
Rich. Good to see you,
you.
buddy. All right, coming back in here. 3, 2, and 1. So you can look forward to that. But wow. Oh, and by the way, I haven't forgotten. We haven't forgotten the lore lessons from Volume 3. That's going to happen. You can look for that to come together. It's probably going to be a massive episode, per usual, like 4 hours long at least of lore.
You know what's funny is I actually enjoy going back and I mean I'm super cringy when I hear my own voice, but I actually enjoy going back and listening to those again because it reinforces everything that we've learned.
Yeah.
I'm not joking you. Just researching and writing and talking about these lore lessons, I have learned so damn much about this game. It's so deep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's just so much. You know, it's just like my favorite thing to do is to read the Tales of Tamriel, the lore book. Take that with me. I take it with me to work.
Yeah, it's good.
I take it with me.
Really good.
I keep it with me at home. It's really, really, really good. That's where most of the side quests come from. Actually, this is the old lore lessons book. But anyway, wow, we got a show. Are you ready? I'm excited.
Yeah.
All right, let's get this thing going. Let me grab my stuff. All right. Well, man, that good old Elsweyr water.
Get these skooma, my friend.
Oh, that's good stuff. But anyway, all right. So first on the docket, we got a brand new trailer that dropped with Elsweyr for early access on PC. Man, I don't know about you, but just a quick side note. I'm not used to calling it early access. I don't know if that was just coined this year, if that was always a thing. But to me, it's just like release, release date.
Yeah, it's pretty much release. I mean anymore because I don't know. The way I look at it is like if it's a game that I'm into, I ain't waiting another week.
Yeah.
So you give me a monetary number, and we will make the exchange, and then I'll be there on day one. That's the way I look. That's the way I look at it.
Right.
There was no way I was gonna miss this, and even with the digital collector's edition as opposed to like any type of physical collector's edition, it's like I don't care what you put out there. I love this game. I'm buying it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, I was prepared. I'm like, I don't care how much it costs. If it's $200, done. Where do I sign up? $250? Here's the money. I mean, I'm ready.
Whoa.
I'm ready.
Do not make that public.
$550. Let's go all day.
Too late. Come on, guy.
But no, I mean, I was ready. I was, I really didn't care about the price. I knew it was gonna be something I really wanted to play, especially after the reveal. So, Dragon Rage. So the trailer, man, you saw it, we saw it, and I imagine there's gonna be another trailer that releases with the full release. I'd be kind of surprised if there wasn't, but Dragon Rage, man, got to see some dragons in action. We heard the dragons talking. We heard a Fus Roda at the end.
Yeah. I will freely admit that I didn't really pick up on that too much, and I really wasn't even expecting any type of dragon tongue to be talked. I was not expecting that at all. So when I first heard the voice of a dragon, it reminded me obviously right off the bat of Parthenax, but when I heard the Fus Roda, I don't think I picked up on it when I was watching the trailer for some reason. The first time I heard a Fus Roda was in game.
Yes. Oh my
So I don't know if I
gosh.
just
Yeah.
didn't let the trailer finish,
Yeah.
all or what I did, but I do not remember picking up on that watching the trailer. I think I was with you
Yeah,
because we
man.
started running around and you're like, dude, have you done a dragon yet? And I go, no, dude, I'm just like reading lore books and like walking around at a snail's pace through these towns.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, let's go immediately and find a dragon. So if you haven't played or if you're on console and you haven't been able to play yet, Elsweyr, the way it works is you will see a dragon icon on your map. And the dragon icon will be moving around your map and then eventually it will stop. And once it stops, once it's engaged, there'll be some cross swords right over the dragon icon. And that means that the dragon is now engaged. So we're watching this thing, we're trying to catch up with it. It's engaged. We come running up, and oh my God, here is this massive creature. And I'm looking at it with my eyes open and my mouth agape, just going, okay, this is everything that we've been waiting for. And we go running up to this thing, start fighting it. It's super fun. You can easily get one shot. But in the middle of the fight, I hear a Fusro Da and like chills one up my spine.
Yeah, dude, my
like
mouth
a total
dropped.
dork. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Yep. I heard. I even saw some salt on Twitter about that. You know, people getting angsty about putting a Fusro Da in the game because it was lip service. I'm like, so? It's Fusro Da, bro.
And you know what? I think I remember replying snarkily to the person who fired off on you about, well, they put that in there for a marketing thing and you fell for it. I'm like, dude, fight me. I'll split your
You
lip.
know what? I don't even care. Absolutely, I did. You do that all day long. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like the same thing when people say, "Oh, you're fanboys." Well, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think
exactly.
we do all this because we're not?
I don't really care.
But I mean, yeah, you know. So seeing the dragons just in game, and I know I'm trying to my best to keep all my impressions for later in the show, but that was a really cool moment when you and I both, because we creep up behind this dragon, and then his head just goes whoo and looks right at us, like right at my eye sockets, and I'm like,
It's
and
on,
he just
we have it
stares.
we were on Twitch.
Yeah.
We were streaming when that happened. So
Yeah.
it's on our
Yeah.
stream from last night. But I actually have that in my notes as well. I'm glad you put that in your notes about your impressions because that was like a holy crap moment. Like he knows we're
Yeah. And then the coolest moment was when he said Fusro Da, and I heard you on the other line. You go, "Did he just say Fusro Da?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh my god!"
Oh my God, I love this.
Oh, it's
working. Oh man.
Oh, great Scott! It was amazing.
Yeah.
But so yeah, good. It's an excellent trailer. Go check it out if you haven't. Then we'll have all this linked over at our episode page, Loreseekerspodcast.com. But so yeah, there's that. And then we got another article. We're kind of burning through this because we really both want to get to the nitty gritty of our impressions.
The nitty gritty.
Just a little taste of the glory. But so yeah, they put out another article. This is mainly, in my opinion, for people who have yet to be able to experience Elsweyr. It's called The Elder Scrolls Online Elsweyr in Update 22. Now in early access on PC, Mac. This coming to us from ESO Official. And again, we'll have all this linked at loreseekerspodcast.com. So, quick rundown. It basically is giving you info. It's another info kind of article on what you can expect when you're playing Elsweyr. So, with this new chapter, in case some of you are listening, maybe you're not for sure what's going on with this, you're going to get a brand new zone to check out, all right, Elsweyr. And let me tell you, it's freaking gorgeous. A story detailing the efforts to protect the Khajiit homeland from the dragons. We've got a brand new class, Necromancer. We got a 12-player trial in Sunspire, a massive collection of side quests and stunning locations to explore, new item sets, collectibles, and much more. The Elder Scrolls Online Elsweyr is available in multiple editions, including Standard, Collectors, and Upgrade Edition for those who already own the base game. If you pre-purchase The Elder Scrolls Online Elsweyr by June 4th, you'll also receive additional bonus items. This means costume, XP, scrolls, a pet, treasure maps, Bandar Peddler Crown Crate, and quite possibly my favorite, the Radmaathra mount.
How can you say that again?
Radmaathra.
It's rad. So the Centrot mount is pretty freaking awesome.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
I know, but like he skipped leg day.
He's got some. You know
No.
what? I just call him Thunder Thighs.
Yeah, like, bro, you got to go to leg day. You can't stay home on that day.
You gotta show up, bro.
He showed up on upper body day. There ain't no doubt about that.
He's like, oh, I'm going up for upper body. My pecs will break glass. Yeah, that mount. I'm not gonna elaborate. I can't. It's good. And to polish all this off, update 22 is now out. Guild Finder system is there. Guilds are taking advantage of it. It's great. We got weapon artifacts that are now in Cyrodiil. Somerset is now on the Crown Store, by the way, as a DLC item. So what that means is not only I'll put my drink down. Not only can you get it from the Crown Store, but also if you are an ESO Plus member, you automatically have access to Somerset. All of it. The zone, the story, everything. Psijic Order. You got it all. And let me tell you what, that is one heck of an expansion. So that's really worth it.
Right, but did you think that it was going to get like topped? Did you think that there was going to be better?
I think this leads us right into this. First impressions of
it does.
Elsweyr. Here we go.
Mhm.
Just by the way, we on our notes, we kept this open because we just wanted to see where this goes. So we were going to sit here for a little bit, but no, when I think of Somerset, you know, for me, it was, I'm coming back to this game. You've already been playing it. We started a show 2 weeks later, and the Somerset drops in just like 3 months. And in the back of my mind, you know, when you're doing the show and everything else that ties along with it, community and all that stuff, you inwardly hope, like, I hope this is better. You know, I hope this is better. It raises the bar. Not that it was bad, but I hope it raises the bar continuously. And I did not realize the bar would be set this high from Somerset. You know?
Well, like even for Morrowind, when you think about it, and here's the thing that I love about each and every major release, so like each and every chapter, basically for Elder Scrolls Online, has been not just a new zone.
Mm-hmm.
It is the history of the zone. It's intricate details of the lore.
Yeah.
It's fully realized, well, fully researched, and then fully realized into a big living, breathing world right in front of you with NPCs that are all doing a bunch of different things, with all the architecture, with nailing the landscape. And on top of all of that, you have the deep lore from the lore books. You have a rich story that's completely new and fresh.
Right.
With some type of a overarching conflict that's going on.
Yep.
That's taking place. So it's like information overload. And it was the same thing in Morrowind. It was the same thing in Somerset. And then it's certainly no different in Elsweyr. So, and the fact that they can put it together that quick that's what blows my mind. And I know that it seems like it's quick to us, but when we go back to when Jibbs and I were in San Francisco for the reveal of Elsweyr and the Necromancer and the dragons, and then we fast forward to now, like it was a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
And that had already been all this stuff with them building this had already been taking place behind the scenes. But at the same time, the amount of work that has gone into something like this, and then to see it manifest into a masterpiece, and they nailed it again with Elsweyr, pretty cool.
I mean, they nailed it. In every sense of the word, they nailed it. Like, you can't. I've learned, in particularly, with whenever I take a quiz at school, anytime a question says all or every, it's usually false. Like if it's a true or false. Because it's never perfect.
You're such a scholar.
I'm such a scholar. But
I'm so proud of you,
man. So I bring that here. Like, to me, this is a perfect expansion. This, in every sense, when I step foot in Elsweyr. Let's talk about the land. So you get to Elsweyr, and we both did tutorials.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's start with like
Tippity
the
top.
very beginning because
Very beginning.
we got some things to say.
Yeah. So that tutorial, um, way better than Somerset. I mean,
Thank you.
it feels like a great tutorial. I like the way that it helps you with controls as far as it locks your screen so you can't do anything else except for
Right.
what you are being asked to do. And it just kind of introduces you well to everything.
And you have to do it a few times. I
Yeah.
noticed that on this one where it's not like just once or twice. Like you have to do it a few times, and you really. I don't want to give too much away to the folks on console, but you take on the teacher pupil type of persona. Like you are being taught from square one. Yeah, we know you already know how to do it, but this tutorial was much more engaging. Somerset, I honestly felt like it was slapped together. Like, okay, and
That's how I felt.
mean,
Yeah.
dude, how many times have we been through that?
Oh man, a lot. I mean,
I do it every time on every new character just because it's a new experience and I like to do it and I like to, search around for the weapons and get a decent little start. So I always do them. But with the Somerset one, it always felt like, okay, you pick up this thing, go around, look at the urns, and you got to jump. You do a little jump, and then you go in there, and then all of a sudden you're done.
Yeah. This feels so much more engaging.
Yeah, this one I was like, okay, so this makes sense from a storyline perspective, how you got to where you were in the tutorial. I enjoyed that. And then over and over again, you had to listen to your instructor and do the things that you're supposed to do in order to learn. So if you're a new player, it's much better at holding your hand through what you need to know before you're like, okay, you're good. Boom, pushed out into the world. And then like a new player is just like looking right and left, just going, oh my God, what? I can't do this.
Right.
There's so much going on. So it really does help to guide you in that direction right from the start.
And I think that, in hindsight, this could not have happened at more of a perfect time. Not only this expansion, but let's kind of focus in here. The tutorial. Having your hand held for a lot of people who are coming from other MMOs.
Wow.
Okay, you said it. A lot of people.
Did I Tourette's that out?
A lot of people from Warcraft.
Sometimes I Tourette's, and I Tourette's that out. Sorry. These are people coming from WoW that aren't used to a dynamic game and having to dodge and block and all that stuff. Hi, welcome to Elder Scrolls Online.
Yep. I mean, this is
dynamic.
This is what this is, and this could not have come at a better time. They did it right, and it's so engaging in that it keeps my attention. And we're vet players now. We've been around, Like, I mean, we're not top tier content, but we've been around. So
we're pretty darn close. We're pretty darn close. And I'm not trying to disparage a WoW player at all. Jibs and I both came from WoW. We played so much WoW.
Yep, we sure did.
This game is so much different. So to see the way, to see the developers react to what they know is going on in their gaming community, that you are getting people from all walks of gaming life right now into ESO, because ESO is the game to play.
Yep.
So they made it more accessible, which was pretty cool to see even as a veteran player.
Absolutely. So I think overall, when we're considering the tutorial, they upped it. They upped the game there, and I'm really, really glad they did. People, I think, oftentimes will write off a tutorial just because, it's just a tutorial. Well, no, it means something, because those first few moments can make or break whether or not someone sticks around, whether or not someone subscribes to a game, gets invested into a community, because if they're not connecting with the game they're playing, they're out. I mean, I think if anything, the industry, what's taught gamers, if you're paying attention for the past year, gamers are becoming smarter as far as picking up really quickly on if something is for them or not, because they don't want to waste the time, and they want to read through all the marketing glory words that they put out. Groundbreaking, amazing, just all these
open world.
That's the big one. Open world,
Yeah.
And so gamers are getting really smart about being able to read through that stuff, and so it's important that you grab a hold of them quickly, and they did it. They did it.
Exactly. And folks, that concludes our show. Thank you very much. Jibs and I are going to get back to Elsweyr now. So yeah, look for another show next week. Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
All right, deuces.
Dang it. We have a lot more to go.
But so yeah, you finish the tutorial and you step out into the world. And first off, I took a screenshot because the moment I step out of that tutorial, there's players everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. And we're all
What
hanging out in
have
rags.
you run into a phasing problem
No.
or lag?
No.
Zero, zilch.
Zero.
Nothing.
That's something to bring up. And now I can't speak, obviously can't speak for everybody, but for Cash and I, for myself, absolutely zero lag. None.
Yeah.
None
I've
whatsoever.
had zero problems at all. I've had no long loading screens. I've had no glitches besides with my add-ons, but it was easily fixed. Even I got to give this to the add-on community.
Oh my
To
gosh.
the add-on development community.
Yep. Hats off.
Well done, my friends. You were well prepared for this one.
Yep.
And every single add-on that I have that was inoperable, which was just a few of them, it told you what the dependency was immediately, downloaded it, updated, reload UI, done.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap, this is so seamless. Like I was in the game very quickly. Even now, granted, I was busy during the day.
Yeah.
On launch day, but in the evening when I logged in, like at high traffic time, I had zero problems. Nothing. Even my download was fast. My download was done in like less than an hour.
Yeah, mine was too.
It was really smooth.
Yeah, I wonder if they didn't do some back end improvements this time around, particularly with the launcher. That launcher and I have not been the best friends over the past year, just because I feel like you're really getting difficult. It's really difficult to get high download speeds with that launcher for whatever reason. And
yeah, I think it gates you down.
It gates the crap out of you.
Right.
And so I just, I was not looking forward to that. That was one of the parts that really concerned me. I'm like, how long is this going to take? Because it oftentimes takes forever. And you know what? I was done in less than an hour.
Oh, did you feed your redneck mouse on the wheel?
Man, I shoved a giant needle full of nitrous right into that mouse, and he took care of it for me.
Jeez, that'll kill him. You feed him spinach.
No way,
It's
man.
organic.
He's good to go. He's not on keto. He's
Yeah,
I'm training him like a cinch rat. You know what I mean?
Oh my God! Don't let him skip leg day. It's not good.
It's not good. But so yeah, you're done with the tutorial and you step out into the world, and so let's talk about the environment. We've mentioned this last episode briefly. Somerset was flawless. Somerset, anywhere you go in Somerset is almost perfect for a painting. Someone could paint any part of Somerset. Yes, even the slode. And I'm sure there'd be something that's great looking about it.
Yeah, the slode.
Slime included. But I step into Elsweyr and immediately I'm just like, wow. Just wow.
Right.
I love the way the map flows. The way everything is laid out.
Until you get stuck in the stitches.
Get stuck. Yeah.
Son of a...
Oh man, you and me both. We're grouped up, and suppose you don't know, Stitches in Elsweyr is basically a giant canyon, and finding a way out is daunting.
Finding your way out is like a... That's what it's like, okay? You say a few of those. Damn it. Listen to the giggle monkey.
Oh, it's true though, because man, I thought we were good to go. Oh, we need to bring up something. Talk about the environment. Those dune rippers, those little scaly beasts from the pit of Mollag Ball.
So we did an after-hours stream last night, and I have a nickname for the dune rippers, and the nickname is basically. So you're gonna have to listen to the stream to get that one. But I'm just saying, when you think you're done with a dune ripper, you're not.
Yep.
They pop up with half health right from out of the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those little
SOBs.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think they have become world's most annoying animal. Go look
Yeah,
up a
and
dune ripper on Google, folks.
those and the vast amounts of like the coyotes. What are the names of those things? Yeah, like little coyote things running around. Jackals.
Jackals. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, they're everywhere. Like you're just
Reproduce
cruising
it like
through.
rabbits.
You don't see them because they're hidden in the freaking grass, and the next thing you know, you have like a gaggle. Is it a gaggle? A den?
Sure.
I don't know, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Of jackals behind you.
Yeah.
And you got to melt them. I'm like, dude, are you stupid? I'm a freaking necromancer. You're going to die, and then I'm going to resurrect you.
Yeah. Yep.
Turn around and live another day.
Leave me alone, man.
Leave me alone.
Trying to help you right now. But man, I tell you what, I love the beauty of this map. I love the verticality of it, and I think that was something they really wanted to capture in a different way with this chapter. You know, they started with that really with Somerset, because you get into Somerset and you're just looking up at a lot of things, but with this chapter you get to experience it because you are now on the high end of things. You are looking down on a lot of things. There is a ton of verticality in this.
Yeah, but being on the high end of things and being above everything, that's more Somerset. Because that's how the Altmen are.
Oh yeah.
I will say this.
Yep.
I will say this. I do not think any expansion, unless something completely blows my mind, I don't think any other zone that Zos can choose for a new chapter will beat the beauty of Somerset.
No.
Ever.
I'd be really surprised. Of course, we've been wrong, so.
Overload.
Yeah.
It was overload.
Yeah.
Because of the foliage, the type of animals, the flora and fauna, and the landscape with the Sigic Order and Artaeum. I just do not think that we are ever going to beat that level of beauty.
Yeah.
With Elsweyr, what you're seeing is everything from arid deserts to oases. Is it oases or oases?
Oasis.
Yes.
I don't know.
The plural.
Data.
Come on, Mr. School Guy.
Data.
Is it oases? Anyway.
Let me go to QuickBooks, whatever that thing is. Not QuickBooks.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
The areas with all the, it looks like a desert, but then there's like
Yeah,
water
yeah.
and there's a lot of
Yeah,
plants and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So anyway,
that one.
so you're looking at, like these big jutting vistas that look similar to, United States deserts, really, like Sedona and Arizona and some of those desert landscapes.
Yep.
And then you go down into the lowland areas where the drainages are, and it's super lush, and there's some semblance of swampland and stuff.
Yeah.
Where it's more swampy and humid and stuff. So you get to see that differing climate in Elsweyr a lot more than you did in Somerset. And it just leads you to understand the differences in geography that exist in Tamriel.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, so that's my personal thought. I don't think the beauty will ever be. I don't think there'll be any beauty that will overshadow what Somerset is.
Mm-hmm.
But Elsweyr has its own charm.
Yeah.
And I mean, and when you really look at the geography of it, this makes sense. Every bit of this makes sense.
It does. And really what Elsweyr does is it beautifully showcases the ancients, the ancient people who lived there, the Akavir, all these things,
Right.
And Elsweyr was beautiful, Somerset was beautiful, but Elsweyr is beautifully dangerous because you are right. You've got these, it totally flips on its head. So you're going in this desert area, then you gradually make your way in what's now a lush forest, and from point A to point B, it's dangerous. It really is. You really get that vibe of, holy crap, we're in a desert. Stuff is open. I mean, this is like an open zoo here, pretty much.
Right.
And it's you will fight more mobs on your way to a destination in this chapter than you probably ever did in Somerset.
Yes. And then when you reach your destination, there's a pretty darn good chance that you've gone through a bunch of different types of landscapes to get where you're at. And now you are in some ancient Khajiit ruin.
Yeah.
on the side of some cliff, there's this temple entrance where there's lush, overgreen entrance, overgrown entrances with like all this weeping ivy and stuff that's coming over the top, or
Yeah.
you're coming into this cave system where your character literally has to move the vines out of the way to get there.
Mm-hmm.
It's so freaking cool. I can't even tell you how many screenshots that Jibs and I took where
Oh my
we're
gosh.
going through
Yeah.
these little cave systems, and then it just comes out into this massive chasm, how do you say that?
Chasm.
Um, with like this ancient stuff, and then there's this big giant Khajiit statue or something standing on top of some pillar, and we're just looking at it like, holy crap.
Yeah, man.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
The
They
work
nailed
that,
it.
that really went into this. So I think what they did were, if you were to contrast Somerset and Elsweyr, Somerset at its face value, everything that you see knocks your teeth out with beauty. Just like boom.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's right there in your face.
Yep.
You go to Alinor. Whoa.
No
look at
question.
this architecture.
Yep.
But with Elsweyr, you get an arid desert with warm climates, warm sands, and bright moons. You get all that. But when you explore and you go into these ancient ruins in all these different little areas that you got to search for, now you find where the beauty's hidden in Elsweyr.
Yeah.
And that's what's been amazing. I mean, I'm level 26, I think, on my necro.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not very far in.
Mhm.
I'll tell you why I'm not very far in as we progress this evening. But I've been just taking in the sights and watching that contrast between newer construction and the ancient construction
Yeah, man.
that the Khajiit just cannot bring themselves to take down and build new.
I'm
They
glad.
build new on top of old.
I love it. The aqueducts, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's all there.
they're just carrying water, but still, it's beautiful. This is gorgeous. And look, at the end of the day, and I think this brings us to kind of the next thing we'll talk about here, the attention to detail with this chapter is unreal. And you're talking about caverns and caves. You know, you and I both, we explored a lot of delves. We did a couple public dungeons. And let me tell you, the first delve, I noticed, I don't know if this was always the case, but attention to detail, I walk up to this cave entrance and I can just hear the...
That's right.
You know what I mean?
remember that. Yeah.
And so I'm just walking up like, oh, listen to this. Listen, come here. And you're like, what? Listen. Oh, I hear it. And you just hear the whistling. And I'm like, I don't remember that being in the game before.
He literally had to tell me to shut up. He go, dude, shut up. Listen.
Yeah. And, you know...
Like what?
And but the delves in this chapter, they have upped the delve game in that a lot of delves prior, you know, I remember running in and they really were an afterthought. You know, it was really just something to get through. And you really didn't have to think too much about it. But my vibe that I've gotten so far with Elsweyr is that these are by far some of the most elaborate delves that you will go through. I'm not talking public dungeons, just the delves are incredibly elaborate. And you truly do have to invest some time when you're going into these. Cash, remember, we're not going to get any spoilers. We were doing a quest and we were trying to find something, and it took us a good 45 minutes to find
You're talking
said
about
thing.
the first public dungeon we did?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. And the way that we were both surprised at how the first public dungeon was, because normally you go into a public dungeon and it's a dungeon, like you're underground.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this was not that way. And we don't want to get too much into it, but it was not this, deep underground delve that you had to go into where it just keeps going down, down, and down, and it's a cave system. It was not that.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I meant yes to that, and I'll elaborate on that in a second. But the one that it was inside a cave. Remember, we were inside, and we were. That's pretty much where we spent most of our game time, trying to find something. You don't remember, do you? Where we're testing our rotations for our necros.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. That elaborate thing. We spent some time there. Now, the public dungeon, you are right. That was amazing. It's
Yeah.
what is it? Orcrest? Orcrest. Yeah,
It was Orcrest. Yeah.
Orcrest. Beautifully done. It's really kind of they really kind of flipped the content on its head with this. So yeah, you're outdoors.
It's a maze.
Yeah,
It's a total maze. I mean, you can
absolutely.
get turned around and like put into a corner and have to fight your way out. And I don't know if it's
Yeah.
just because the mobs right now are probably on a really quick respawn timer just because of the traffic that's coming through. But yeah, we would find ourselves like in a corner at a dead end, like, oh my God, we got to go all the way back up and around and have to fight our way all the way back through. Now, don't get me wrong. We loved melting everything
Oh
with
yeah, we
dead
did.
corpses
Oh,
the
yeah, we
entire
did.
way back.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's you can find yourself like put into a corner. But it was just a really neat take on what a public dungeon normally isn't.
Yeah.
There's a big giant compound
Yeah.
that you get to go through, and no, we won't tell you anything about the story in there. You can watch our stream and figure out about the Tamrielic tweakers.
Yeah, that's boy. Woo. We got the Tamrielic tweakers, then we got the door-to-door religious Khajiit.
Yes, we did. The door to door, the guys that usually like flip the blinds on. Yeah, they're out there for you to discover too.
They're out there and elsewhere.
I
So
think they were who were they? The priest of... Okay, I won't even say it. Yeah, but he was funny and he was Khajiit.
it was hilarious. But so yeah, the delves, they up their delve game, and let's move on to this. So the context of the quests. Now, don't get nervous. Again, no spoilers. Just relax. Enjoy it. The context, as far as the impression that I got with Somerset, anytime I was talking to somebody, an NPC, it was very serious. It was very like dire situation. Whereas, I don't know if anyone else is caught up on this, but it's just the dialogue in Elsweyr feels very comedic. It's very lighthearted, just
Totally.
funny stuff.
And that's full Khajiit culture.
Yeah.
Because they downplay everything, even the most serious of situations. Unless you're Namira. She does not.
Chimera?
Chimera. Yeah, unless you're Chimera. She's like super drama queen.
Oh, she's super ticked off because of Abner.
Yeah,
but
she's super
that's
drama queen.
that's not
But-
news to anyone in Braston. So
No, but it's like the Khajiit almost have a like, oh, yeah, it's okay. This might not work out, but it's all right. Is it time for a siesta yet? That's kind of how they are.
yeah,
Let's go take a nap.
they're super chilled out, and I love that about them.
Yeah,
Just
for sure.
super chilled out. So yeah, I love the funny dialogue, and going on with the dialogue. Let's talk side quests for a second. I love the way the side quests are laid out in Elsweyr. And man, I was just driving home today, and I was just thinking, it's the perfect amount. It really is the perfect amount. You're not bombarded. They're not everywhere. But it's when you're going from point A to point B, you're not getting overrun with side quests, but they're fixed perfectly through the map. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. So I agree and I disagree.
Okay.
I am afraid that because there's not like a giant bombardment like there is in Aradon or in Wayrest or some of the other cities, starting cities. I'm afraid that I'm going to run out of content in Elsweyr too fast, because I'm telling you right now, this has been so far my very favorite chapter to play.
Hands down.
It's
Hands down.
my favorite chapter to play.
Yep.
I do not want it to end.
I know.
And I'm afraid that's what's going to happen. And I am noticing that some of the content is spread out a little bit. So I'm hoping, and I'm probably only about a quarter of the way through, if that, because I'm taking my time and really, really just absorbing everything.
Yep.
But I am a little afraid that there's not enough content and side quests elsewhere. And that's a good worry.
That is a good worry. Absolutely. And, really it kind of remains to be seen, because you and I both, we're taking our sweet time. We're not rushing through any of this. We're both around the same level, and we're not doing anything to rush this experience at all. And I find myself currently, I've found myself skipping a few side quests just because I'm like, I'm not ready for this area of the map yet. I'll come back to you. And, so I think there's a lot of hidden content in that it's not in your face so much. So it's kind of like you got to go look for it.
Exactly. And see, I'm doing kind of the same thing that you are. Now, granted, yesterday we ran into the main city.
Mm-hmm.
Rimmon? Rimmon. We ran into Rimmon, which, by the way, has an outstanding crafting area. Like if you're a Vivek City crafter, you are going to switch. Or if you're a Somerset crafter, you're going to switch and end up going to Rimmon because it's really good. Everything is like right there.
Yeah.
Including turning in your writs. It's like everything's super close.
Everything's beautiful there.
Other than the dailies, I have not taken a single quest out of Rimmon yet because I am not finished in the very starting city, which I'm terrible. I forgot the name of it.
Rivenhold.
You're such a smart dude. Yes.
I do the numbers.
Yes. Riverhold.
Yeah.
So I've not finished everything in Riverhold yet. And I'm not kidding you. Folks in Loreseekers, if you see me popping in and popping out, I'm not trying to be rude. I just can't read quest text and listen to it and read lore books and stuff while people are talking about their workday. I love you all. Your workdays are super important to me, but man, I've been waiting for this. So if I'm a little bit more absent right now, just kind of look on the little thing and you'll see Cast the Loreseeker is playing Elder Scrolls Online right now. I am just soaking everything in, and I have read so many hilarious lore books. There's one on the Angry Alfiq.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
If you run into that one, take the time to read it because you'll piss yourself. It's freaking great.
Yep.
It's just good stuff. And that brings me to another point that I want to hit. Oh my, I have 2 points real quick here. And I want to flesh these both out with you, bro.
Yeah.
The first one is the bards. The bards in Elsweyr are incredible.
Yeah.
Now, I say this because I'm so excited that they're so amazingly better than the bards in Somerset.
Dude, amen to that. Those Somerset bards were... I'm okay. Everybody involved with that, I'm sorry. Holy crap.
I love you guys so much.
We couldn't say that, but
in Somerset.
Those bards were just... It was awful. That was
not the case in Elsweyr.
The ones in Elsweyr are fantastic.
Yeah. So in Riverhold, you walk into the Banished Regrets, which is the inn, and the bard is... Oh my God, is this spoiler? It's not spoiler. Come on, people. She's sitting at a table and she's playing this. Don't even know what the heck this thing is. It's like a sits on her lap type of.
Yeah, it's a
guitar thing.
Lap-based string instrument on her lap.
Artemis from our guild knew the name of what this thing was. I didn't know. I couldn't find anything in the lore. Anyway, she's playing this thing.
Dulcimer.
And she has.
Thank you, chat.
Dulcimer. Thank you. Oh my God, I feel so dumb. Our chat is so much smarter than I am.
Well,
anyway, so she's playing this thing, and her voice is like, she's Adra. It's beautiful. It's perfect. She is just singing this tale of moon sugar and Khajiit and their culture, and I am enthralled. I look around me when I walk in. There's probably 6 or 7 players standing around the table drinking and eating, like doing the emotes or drinking and eating, and they're just listening to her play.
Yeah.
I was blown the F away.
Yeah, I love, and chat's correcting, it's now called a Zither? A Zither?
A zither.
But,
thank you.
Yeah. They, I like it. I love it, man. As a musician, it was hard to listen to the Somerset Bard. I did not like it at all. And I come to Murkmire, and I'm like, this is funny. I like listening to her songs. But after a while, I'm just like, you can only listen so much of this. And so I'm done there. And then I go to Elsweyr, and I'm like, thank the divines.
Right.
No.
So the one song in Somerset about Sirabane, oh my,
my gosh.
did I want a bullet through my face every time I ran by there and heard her saying that. I'm like, oh my God, I just want to trip her.
Just want
I don't
to
want you to get hurt.
snip those strings on that lute.
I just want to knock that freaking lute out of your hands for 5 seconds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was tough. That was tough. And so I love the fact, and I think you even brought it up, that that's the same voiceover artist, possibly.
Oh yeah,
the
it
Elsweyr.
was insane.
But it's the fact that she uses the accent, the Khajiit accent, and
Right.
the music, the instrument was different. It just changed everything, and it's so much more pleasing to listen to.
Yeah, I was just blown away. And there's some other things that are taking place inside, and then I'm not gonna let them go. But if you enjoy Khajiit culture, just take the time to go look at these things and walk into the inns and just soak it in, because it is so impressive what you learn. And like, I was not like the biggest Khajiit fan. I now have like 4 Khajiit in my arsenal of characters, and I'm just in love with them. They're like rivaling the Bosmer for me at this point, just because they have grown on me so much. And Elsweyr just shot it to the moon.
Absolutely. And one thing I agree, Khajiit, I love their mentality. They're so incredibly welcoming. I go there and I saw a Bosmer just selling, or I think she was like she did tales or dances or something, and you could just tell, like the Bosmer there are super happy,
Yeah,
which is something for a
She's a
Bosmer.
Bosmer hooker. Yeah, the one in Riverhold, she's a Bosmer hooker for sure.
That's what she was.
It's disgusting
Have you talked to that Khajiit?
and
that
amazing.
She makes a sensual remark in the tavern.
No, you are so reserved.
Well, we're trying to keep this as family as possible here. But
Yeah,
anyway.
family's family. Yeah. No, but I want to know where she's at, because I'm immediately going to her. Thank you, folks, for joining us tonight.
She really gets into detail there for a hot second. So anyway, there's that. So anyway, dragons. I think we talked a little bit about it earlier, but now dragons, I love that system. And really, if anything, they really upped the game here again with, I want to do this more than Dolmen's. I know Dolmen's is a good level grind, but this right here, you get great loot. It's dynamic feeling, and because just the pathing, the way they go around, and it feels randomized. I love it, man. I love this system.
The XPs aren't that good though.
I noticed that.
Yeah,
I
the
noticed
XPs
that.
are not very fruitful. So
Right.
I can't see people doing this in as a replacement for Dolmen's, because it's not as fast.
Sure. I think the loot's
It's
better.
way more fun.
Yeah, way more
Yeah,
fun.
the loot is definitely better, and you have the opportunity at, some more rare loot too.
Yeah.
As opposed to Dolmen's, like,
Sure.
you're gonna get the area loot, and that's pretty much it.
Right.
The stuff that drops in that particular zone.
Right.
And what are you gonna do? You're gonna break that down.
Yeah, exactly.
The one thing I will say though about some of the loot that you get here, the sets are pretty damn good, and they drop repeatedly.
The Alfiq set? Oh, man.
The Crafty Alfiq set is an outstanding starter set. Oh my god, it gives you like 7,000 plus magicka. So I'm bouncing around on a level 26 magicka necro with like 35,000 magicka.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
So like, what I'm hoping is that by the time I hit 50 and I lose all of my pre-50 bonuses, that it just doesn't completely square kick, got both of them in the nuts to my Magicka Necro, because right now,
Yeah.
I know we're going to talk about this.
Mm-hmm.
My Magicka Necro is a freaking powerhouse.
Yeah, man.
So fun. Should we go?
Do you think we should? It feels right.
I got more to talk about.
Let's
with
talk.
the world.
Let's talk more about the world then, because I don't want to rush this. We only ever get to do this once.
What, you tell me what to do again?
Just passive aggressively.
You're a good forest wife.
I'm the perfect hashtag wife.
You're
Apparently,
the forest wife.
you're disgusting.
So are you. You've only been married 2 days.
Take the trash out.
In game.
Trash out.
Catalan. Okay.
In the Burkmar shit.
So today I did notice over the past couple of days I have noticed that there are some incredibly iconic characters that make their return.
Oh yes.
And I will not tell you which ones, but you're gonna like them. One of them, I was running through the desert today and I saw him at a distance. And I just about had a little tiny Khajiit kitten.
Oh, I haven't seen him yet.
Yeah. I'm not going to tell you who it is.
I bet I know.
No, based on what I just said.
Oh my
But when I
gosh.
saw him, I was over the moons and I ran straight to him and talked to him. So anyway, yeah, he's there. There are some other very iconic characters in Elder Scrolls lore that make an appearance in different aspects of the game.
Yeah, more ways than one.
I didn't really.
Well, let's talk minor, because we can talk minor Somerset characters that returned. Remember? At Rimmen? At the traders area?
Oh yeah, go for it. Totally.
So I forget his name. The Nord. Is it Zuri? Zuret? I don't know. But the Nord that you do a quest line in Somerset, that basically he's trying to get to see the Queen.
Right.
He's back. He's back. And then on top of that,
and you're like, oh my god, yes, he's back.
yeah, I feel like I'm gonna run all over the place just by talking
Rigger
to the guy.
Brash, thank you again.
Rigger the
Matt.
Brash.
Thank you.
You
Yes.
guys are on it.
Miss Elma, thank you very much.
I love her chat. So yeah, Riggert's back, and then on top of that, just not even 50 feet away from him, you wrap around the corner and there's one of the masked entertainers. What's their names? From Somerset. You know what I'm talking about? The Jester, the
House of Reveries.
House of Reveries. Yes. So they're back, and you talk to her, and she's like, "Oh, I was so excited to come from Somerset to see more things," and I was like, "Nice callback right there. Nice callback." It's just like,
But you go.
it just, to me, I like the details. If anything that this expansion has done, it's the fine details where they've interwoven things together, where it really feels like it's continued. Like this is the first chapter. Yes, if you do the lore from the other chapters, the stories do connect, but I feel this outside the main story for the first time ever, and I love that just because of the fine details.
And you nailed it. You nailed my thought process. And the reason being is because of this. When I hear people rushing from level 1 to level 50, I'm not kidding you. It freaking hurts my soul. A developer loses his wings and his or her wings, and it makes me super sad. Because when you take the time to stop and smell the roses and read the lore books and listen to the things that these characters are telling you, it lends to the amount of genius and care and love that goes into the story.
Yeah.
It is incredible. I'll read a lore book and I'll sit there for 5 minutes. I am not a fast reader, my friends, which is why I'm a big fan of Audible. I'm not a fast reader. So I will sit there and read a lore book, especially ones that are like 5 pages. I'll read it for 5 minutes and read it twice. I don't care. But I absorb what has gone on in the writing of that. And now that I'm writing our own storyline and writing lore lessons for our show, I have a much bigger appreciation for what it takes to be able to write content like that. And some of the stuff I don't even compare to in my own writing. I'm like, this is why these people are professional writers. They are so witty and they just nail the class or the race so well when you're reading a lore book from a Khajiit perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's just so impressive.
Yeah. The writing in this chapter is exceptional. Even Alfred Molina, he made that comment in that video regarding Abner. He said, Abner could have just told somebody to say shut up, but he didn't. he went through this elaborate means of first implying, letting them know why they're so insignificant, and then he said something else in regards to like shut up. And so
Right.
it's just the extra mile with the writing here is it's great.
Yeah,
It's
and even
really really good.
um, Alfred Molina followed it up with, and that's just good writing.
Exactly.
When you hear that from an actor,
Yeah.
that's pretty impressive. That like all they do is read scripts and
Yeah.
bring them to life.
Yeah.
So when you hear somebody say that about a video game, it lends to the amount of talent that is sitting behind the desk at
Oh
Zest.
yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And I love it, man. Rimmen is a great city. Go check it out. It's really well laid out. It's beautiful. I love whenever you're going through Rimmen, the Khajiit do something different with their way shrines. They really make a point to make them elaborate looking. They dress them with tapestries. You've got urns, where they're burning some kind of incense, and it's just they've kind of upped everything to the next level. And one thing that they've included well in the dialogue is necromancy.
Oh.
It's that time.
Okay.
It's that time. And it's a common occurrence. It feels like whenever you're talking to a Khajiit, that somehow, some way, you'll hear something of the undead or necromancer. Cash, we have been waiting to freaking talk about this since we saw it in January in San Fran.
We've been talking about this since we started the show.
We always said, what's the one thing we wanted? Aside from the Bard and the Tinkerer, what's the one thing we wanted? And it was the Necromancer. Now, I'm just going to open this up and let you start. Because you kind of know where I'm going to go. So, Necromancer, man. We're in it. Finally. It plays well. You and I were testing stuff. It's good.
It is, but how come your necromancer's still wearing that white wedding dress? That's creepy AF.
Well, it scares away the Eurexians. Turns out it's like
Including your forest husband.
it's like it's like bleach on jeans. It scares away the color in jeans. So
You're such a redneck. Yeah, so anyway, the necromancer. I'm just going to flat out say it. Jibs and I have been waiting for our forever class, and this is to take nothing away from the other classes, but the necromancer has everything that we have been waiting for, and we did not touch it on the public test server. I think we're pretty vocal about that we were going to wait and just experience this, and I think we both went into this with bated breath, wanting it to be something that we absolutely loved. And both Jibs and I had probably 3 or 4 holy moments when we were playing, and as our characters were building. I mean, our characters are still building, but as we'd get a new skill, it was like, oh my god, you gotta be kidding me, this is so fun. Like, and just, I'm not gonna lie, I've looked at a few builds, but I have not committed anything to memory. So for Jibs and I think it was a lot of trial and error with things as simple as not just picking skills up in the necro line, but moving them from one spot to another on your bar and making these little discoveries and having it be an organic discovery that, oh, if I use this skill first in my rotation, it will boost my damage by 20%. And oh, look, I went from 10,000 DPS to 20,000 DPS.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
And it was really, really fun for us. And by the way, we both rolled Magicka Necros. I rolled a Khajiit Magicka Necro, and Jib